One night I was driving home on Shaker Boulevard from downtown Cleveland, just a mile or so away from my house, through a part of town that most people would probably regard as off-limits at night. And I saw a building, and it looked really old. It looked pretty special. It was all lit up, the only lit building in that block, maybe for a few blocks. And I could tell it was old, but it was also vandalized. And I realized that there was some sort of special building right here, just a few minutes from my house, that I knew nothing about. Gorgeous building. I could tell that at one point it was something special. And then I started to realize that there's some sort of barrier around the place where I live and around Northeast Ohio, between the urban city of Cleveland or East Cleveland or Glenville and the communities around it. When I grew up, my parents, who were both from other parts of the country, moved to Bracknell, a little pocket of wealth on the lake. And to get from Bracknell to where I went to school, we would drive through East Cleveland every day. And a lot of people know East Cleveland because in the news there's talk of drugs and violence and crime. And now if you drive through East Cleveland, all you see are foreclosures. There's some 6,000 foreclosures in Cleveland. And people have left. It's sort of like a ghost town. It's depressing.
I get frustrated sometimes living where I live, and I walk through Bracknell, and I've noticed the contrast when you walk under the overpass. I've actually thought about writing about that, and I've written a couple of short things, but nothing that really captures, the disparity between the two places, and it's so interesting to me that you could have such a huge gap. I mean, you got yachts and mansions and all of that, and sometimes it seems like there's the people that live there are so isolated and so insulated that they can live their lives with no awareness of what's going on the other side of the freeway.
A child was born with no state of mind, blind to the ways of mankind. And my mom could quote the whole verse. Boom. That's it for rap. Every time any rap song came on, I don't care who did it. I don't care if it was ladies rapping like Sequence. I had to listen to rap. I love rap after that. I do the workshop. Hip-hop workshop was started in the second Saturday, February 2004. It was called the Hip-Hop Workshop. The theme is, you can be mean but keep it clean. It was started to bring adults and youth together using hip-hop music.
My father always told me you have to work for everything you get. I'm not giving you nothing but one suit, one pair of shoes, one pair of socks, one coat, one hat, and then all the rest of it you're going to have to buy yourself. So he showed me how to go out and make money.
We're the most racially stratified, we're the most segregated cities in the United States. How do young people, how do they start becoming part of the fabric? It's a brightness, it's a willingness to, look outside yourself. It's, I built a pretty nice house right in the middle of the ghetto. Why? So I want to help. I could have built this house in Solar. I could have built it in Pepper Pike. I could have built it anywhere. I chose to build it here. I'm not going to live there and talk about the people down here. I'm going to be right here with you.
Glenville, this is my first house we ever owned, so to me, I love the neighborhood. I plan to stay here for long as the Lord let me live, something like that. I'm not planning on, because my kids, this was their first home they lived in, and it's a lot of memories from my family.
I've been here about 39 years. I was the third black family to move on this street. But like I said, now, the young lady I was talking to just now, she just moved here. She just bought this house. I say, I like East Cleveland.
Nobody looking in on East Cleveland from other places had gotten out of their cars. They might drive through to get from one place to another, but they're certainly scared to get out of their car. It's not a welcoming place, according to the news and the media. But I forced myself to get out of the car and talk to people and offer to record their stories. And a lot of people told me everything that happened in their life. And there's some wonderful stories, some important stories, and an important history to East Cleveland. Alex Kotlowitz from the New York Times told me that storytelling is an act of hope. And amidst all of the sort of depressing sights and abandonment in East Cleveland are the actual narratives of people living there. And once you sit down and listen to them, you realize that really everywhere there are good stories and good things going on. I hope that people in Cleveland take the opportunity to hear some of these stories, and maybe they'll actually go to East Cleveland or to Glenville or downtown into the Huff neighborhood and talk to people and find out a little bit more about what's going on in part of their own community. It might not be in their homes or in their backyards, but it's only a few minutes away.
That success in life is measured by the peace that you have within yourself. And I don't think it matters whether you live in a mansion or you live in a shanty. If you have that peace within yourself, that's really more important than anything else.